So, starting again. Before that, my OBS crashed. Cool, or nice. Okay, so what I wanted to explain was, um, why did I read through thousands of mangas? I mean, only 1,000, but you kind of guessed it. Um, the first reason is I had time, too much time. What do I do? I mean, of course I had like school and stuff, but the trip to the school was like too much time gated, and didn't have earphones, so couldn't hear to music in the bus, or I don't know. I didn't had like a good flat, so I could watch a movie. But without music, the movie would be also like weird. So yeah, that's the reason I picked up on reading manga, because I liked anime. I didn't watch so many animes, but what I watched was like on television some animes, and on the internet then afterwards some anime, some movies. Of course, from Ghibli and stuff. They were all good. These were all good, and I started picking up reading manga because what do they do? Reading. Improving some language, maybe, I don't know, English, for example. I improved that. Reading, I improved it, but when reading manga, it's not really like hard English. I also don't want to read a fucking book, a boring book. I don't like that. So manga was the best way. And how did I read them? As first of all, I had an app called Mangazone, or still have, and there I started reading manga at first because it was a free app. Of course, I'm a pirate, but I still support the authors. Like I buy some books, exactly 2 books. That's a different story. I got to a convention and buy 2 books that I really liked the story of, and I started reading the mangas, and at some point I had like 50 mangas, 70 mangas read through, and I wanted to check out a feature like the history. You can favorite the mangas you liked. I did that all the time, like reading the mangas I favorited, and then read through it. You can download it and read through it, so I don't need to have internet connection for that. So I downloaded it beforehand, and then I read through in the bus. And what happened? I wanted to test out the features, like you can see in history. I read through some stuff, and I was like, clicking on my phone, doing some stuff, and then I deleted the history of the app, and then I'm like, shit. What do I do? Now I don't know how far I read through those mangas and how good they were. I mean, I didn't have like a score how good these were, but I didn't have like something to say, do I want to read it again or do I don't want to read it again? And so I moved my like list of mangas. I still add them as favorites in my app, but I moved those lists to an Excel list on my PC, because maybe this app will get banned, or I don't know. I don't have access to it anymore, and I don't want to lose my progress. Um, so I moved it to a solid hard drive for my own self, and I kept through it. Like I did try to name the title name, then like the score, and when I read it. Like I want to see, like in 1 to 2 years, when did I start to read this manga, and how often did I come back to it? Like I can see already that I come back to like 20 mangas a lot. Like I see I came back like 3 times in like 2 months or something, I don't know. to read through it again because it was so interesting for me. Maybe it's not the best story, but I really like the story because I really don't like. I tried, for example, Doctor Stone or something on Manga Dex. Manga Dex is also an app, but it's not the app on on mobile phone, but on my PC, on the Chrome. They updated that. I will talk about that, but like I don't really want to read a manga that's pretty popular. Like for Doctor Stone, for example, a lot of people think the anime was good, stuff like that. But for me, the manga, I only read the manga, and it was so mediocre for me. Like it was still good, not gonna lie, but because it's so good, it was like, and what now? There was nothing really like the first villain or something. It was a guy that came out and out of the stone and was pretty muscular, and he could beat up those two protagonists. And like, why? Why did the author do that? Like, you need to have a villain or something. It was like weird, and so I stopped reading that. So in general, I really don't read those general like mangas that everybody knows of. Like, for example, Sword Art Online. I didn't read through, but watched it. I'd like to watch it, but I'm not a fan of it. Or like different kinds of how was the demon? Yeah, the Demon Slayers, for example. I tried to read through it, and I also couldn't do it. I was like, no, it is it's boring. But maybe it will, like, the anime should be good because of the animations and stuff. The animation, like the drawings and Demon Slayer was good, but the story in general was like, ah, didn't like that. It's not my theme. And so I read through a lot of mangas, and 1,000. And this is like for a couple days. Before a couple days, I hit 1,000 mangas, and did it change me in some ways? I don't really know. Maybe I know more now about mangas in general, or the theme, or Japan. Not in general Japan, but like how they structured. Like you read from right to left. That was a surprise in the beginning. I only in my first mangas, I didn't know it. I read from left to right, and it didn't make any sense. And I kept reading, and I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. The left people are saying something behind the right people, and I'm like, huh. Reading through, it doesn't make any sense. I'm wondering why is it so weird? And then like on some random translation, you see you need to read from right to left. I'm like, oh shit, he's fucking right, dude. No, it makes sense. I still don't know those that I messed up with, like reading from left to right. I don't know anymore those mangas. My brain is not like can remember every manga. It can, but it can remember a lot of mangas. I mean, I think I can remember every manga that I read through that is like till above 10 chapters. Like you need to read it for some time, not what's in the manga, but the visual novels, like the visuals. I can remember that, like names, no, but the faces and stuff. That's something I can really remember. Like I read this manga. Sometimes I'm wondering, like I have an Excel list, like I told, where I kept the names, and sometimes I'm stumbling across the names, but not the Japanese names, the English names. And so I read through them because I checked beforehand the Japanese name. Oh no, it's not there, or the English name, because I have it on my Excel list. It's maybe Japan or English, and then when the other, like where I read it on, is like the opposite, or like the Excel list is English and the app where I read it on is Japanese, you don't find them. And so I read through them again, and I'm like, oh yes, this manga I read through again already, and then I need to compare them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I read through, all fine, check marked, and next manga. It's pretty complicated sometimes to read through mangas with like 3 titles or something in 3 different languages. It's hard sometimes, but I can it's fine. It's fine. What else is there? Like I see how often I come back to mangas. I think I started 3 years ago. Like yeah, 3 years ago I started it reading mangas, and now I'm 1000 mangas. It's a lot when I remember. But the funny part is, like, I don't really finish a lot of them. I mean, not finish them like I will stop them. No, I read through them. But this manga that I read through is ongoing, so it still continues with like releases in like next month or next year or something. There will come chapters, but I stop at some point because there's no chapter out. So I stop them and read the next manga. And what happens then? Like I will come back and see, oh, the manga is updated like 2 or 3 chapters. I'm like, oh, man, I need to wait more for that shit. And yeah, it's some pretty bad stuff. No, it's not really bad, but you want to read more good story, you know. And what do I want to say? I think I only have like 50 or something like ended, like they are complete, and there will be no more new updates. I think I have only like 50 of them. Like I mark them as ended the manga, completed the manga. I read all of them through, but when it's ongoing, and I will come back to it. Maybe not. Maybe I will. I don't know. We will see. And I think only like I can't say the percentage or like exactly amount, but only like some mangas I come back to. Like I marked some mangas pretty good, but I still don't come back to them because I don't feel like the story or the story is like for me, but maybe for other people. I really have like some that I really like. Oh, and I wanted to say Mangadex is also other platform where you need to or can get the mangas from, or not get the mangas from, where I read them from. Mangadex is a platform. It was a platform beforehand, before a huge update. They got down from somebody, and before that, it was a pretty good manga website where you could read. Like there were comments everywhere. Like when something bad happens or bad story is there, you can check always the comments. The comments section is always good, not because there are some memes in there or some memers or trolls, but sometimes there's one person that tells you, don't read this strategy, or the MC is stupid or something. That's some good shit. You need to have a manga site with a comment section. Then the most the best thing about this website was the filters, like where you can find the mangas. And this manga website before had like a search for ongoing and completed mangas, and I only choose the ongoings because I didn't want to read manga that is 3 years old and will not continue with like a bad ending or something, like, or didn't had a bad ending. but it stopped at some point, and it will not continue because it's cancelled or something. I didn't want that, so I only read through ongoing mangas, and I could search for that, and I could also search for like one shots. One shots are mangas with only one chapter, and I didn't want to read them because it's only one chapter, and it's not worth your time most of the time. For me personal, it's not worth because I read a lot, so I didn't want to read one chapters only, getting into a story and then it's ended already. And nowadays, after the big blackout, it had a big blackout. Somebody flagged it or something. It got downed, and now the manga site is up again, and they updating it more. Like, I'm pretty impressed that they're really updating it. But right now there are no comments. Like, without comments, the manga site is not good anymore. And the second of all, the filter, like the filter of the platform was better before the blackout, and that's maybe a thing to consider. And I maybe want to find a good other site to read on again, because this was the only site I could find that had a very, very good filter. And nowadays it's not anymore there, and it's not really. Uh, it's still a good site where you can find mangas and stuff. That's good, but it's not the best anymore for myself. It's not the best. I will look for maybe a other site where I can find good mangas on. But it's still fine. Maybe they will update it, and they promised they updated it, and we will see. We will see how it goes. But I think this is it for my manga side. Did it change me? I don't think so. Maybe a little bit, like I know some cool memes now from the mangas, but in reality, not much changed from me before mangas and after mangas. And I'm also not a big weep now. Uh, b- I mean, the culture and stuff, like, you know, the culture, um, reading that is also interesting, but really, that's it. It's nothing much that happened. But hey, have a nice day and be a weep.